connecting Arizona. 12 News Today starts now.
This morning, a tragedy in our state. 19 selfless firefighters killed. Members of a very elite team lost trying to protect homes.
It's gone. The house was on fire when we left. Everything was there, but it was on fire. So it's gone.
This morning, our broadcast centers around the deadliest wildland blaze for firefighters in more than 35 years.
And we wish it was a good morning. It is a tough one. That is an understatement. Everyone here at 12 News Today has the communities of Prescott and Yarnell in our thoughts and prayers. I'm Kim Covington, and for Emma Jade, who is in Prescott this morning.
And I'm Doug Meehan, and it is one of those mornings where you wake up and hearts are heavy.
Yeah, Doug, it's a little haunting. Right now, we are actually at the fire station of those men who are not coming home this morning. Their cars are actually all right behind us. There's a memorial out here right outside of their fire station.
The loss, the emotion, all here in the Arizona Republic. This is the most first responders loss since 9/11.
Just to put it in perspective there, Jacqueline Schultz joins us live this morning near Yarnell. Jacqueline, can you give us a sense of what you're seeing and hearing at this hour at 4:33 on a Monday morning?
Well, right now, guys, we have 400 firefighters very busy tackling the blaze around Yarnell. And what we're told is that 150 of those firefighters were just called in yesterday. We're told that they came in from various parts of the country and are helping Arizona battle this blaze.
A local top story that we're following for you. Yarnell's fire chief resigns as news of his past conviction comes to light. Jim Coyle was convicted of manslaughter back in 1974. However, the truth is just now surfacing.
Hey, we're digging deeper into the life of military contractor Aaron Alexis. He's the suspect blamed for killing 12 people earlier this week at the Washington Navy Yard before dying in that shootout with police.
And despite a pattern of misconduct as a Navy reservist and sporadic run-ins with the law, Alexis was actually granted secret clearance as a contractor. Now, those facts have members of Congress outraged and promising to fix holes in the system, forcing some to ask here, is this mass shooting the last straw? Others saying gun laws wouldn't stop a criminal from getting a weapon, but the fight for gun control is revived and could take a dramatic turn following Monday's shootings. Today, family members of Newtown victims, they're going to join lawmakers in our nation's capital to call for gun control. This morning, you're taking a look at live pictures right now. Officials in Mesa are letting that fire on Loop 202, this is right near McKellips, burn itself out, and it still is burning. The fire started yesterday afternoon in a pile of yard clippings. It grew in size and strength and soon overtook an area the size of several football fields. If you've driven by this area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the zoo says it is honoring Chinese tradition, which is to wait 100 days before naming the baby. Why do I love Panda Watch so much? I could be on Panda Watch all day, every day.
Panda Watch.
Thank you.
I know you were trying to...
That's actually my ringtone. Our own zoo animal, it should be. Jimmy,
yes.
He's at the Phoenix Zoo this morning celebrating none other than Hump Day.
You all right out there, Jimmy?
What's behind
I'm on
him?
Panda Watch.
What is Panda Watch?
And it is, of course,
Hump Day.
We're out here. We are at the Phoenix Zoo. It is early, and I can honestly tell you, I wish you guys could be out here to feel the air on your skin. It feels as close to perfect as you can get.
Ahead on 12 News Today, some retailers are reportedly slashing prices on iPhones, and not just any iPhone.
Really?
The new ones. We'll explain. Yeah.
Plus, you or your kids probably grew up eating them. We're talking about chicken nuggets. And today we're taking a good hard look at the reality of what these things are actually made of.
I guess it's true. The rich just keep getting richer. Forbes just released their list of the nation's top earners, who made the list and who fell short by a few $billion.
All right, 4:55 ahead on 12 News Today. Foster Farms is allegedly at fault for the latest salmonella outbreak. Now they have one more day to figure out what they're going to do to fix this or face a shutdown. Coming up, what the USDA now says initially contaminated the poultry. Plus, the old-fashioned plastic may be a thing of the past since most of us already use online banking apps, but banks are adapting and doing away with ATM cards altogether now. Coming up, how it works and if your bank is giving it a trial run. Plus, a consumer warning for parents this morning. A popular celebrity-endorsed stroller being called a safety risk by Consumer Reports. what else they have to say about the product, and what to do if you have one. And today could be the day northern Arizona gets its first big heaping of snow. Here in the valley, Jimmy says expect wind, rain, and much cooler temperatures. Your full forecast and a live report from Flagstaff all coming your way as 12 News Today continues.
Connecting Arizona. 12 News Today starts now.
An Air Force airman arrested in Surprise, suspected of locking a woman in a bathroom and sexually assaulting her. What she told police and what he claims happened.
Plus, yet another bomb scare at LAX has travelers on edge. This time, it was extremely close to planes and passengers.
And a new smartphone feature could save your life, or at least deter distracted driving.
12 News Today starts right now.
It's an interesting idea they've come up with. Doesn't completely solve things. I mean, there's probably a missing component still, but it's an interesting idea for sure.
And what does it do?
Well, you'll find out as the show continues. That's why we call that a tease.
The tease. Good morning, everybody. Jimmy's going to have more on your forecast in just 1 second. But first, we have some news.
Yeah, 4:31 is your time, and we begin this morning with good conditions on our roads. But that definitely was not the case last night. There were several extremely serious crashes on valley roads, which kept rescue crews busy. First, we go to Mesa, where the driver of a minivan plowed into a pedestrian. This is video in from the scene near Gilbert and Broadway. Police say the pedestrian, a man in his 30s, was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The driver of the minivan wasn't injured and showed no signs of impairment.
Next, we also want to show you the video from the area of 16th Street and Rozier in Phoenix. Last night, 2 women there were hit by a car. In this case, both women were reportedly alert and talking to by the time the crews arrived. Their injuries considered serious but not life-threatening. Not much has been released about the circumstances of that crash just yet.
Tough one here this morning. A 4-year-old is dead, and her mom and mom's boyfriend are being blamed. Melissa Centeno and Sergio Ortiz both arrested on child abuse charges here in Phoenix. Officers were called to an apartment this weekend after the little girl was found not breathing. Paramedics also noticed suspicious bruising on several parts of her body. Police say in court documents that the boyfriend indicated the child had fallen several times, but her mom reportedly admitted that both she and the boyfriend would discipline or hit the girl often.
All right, so take a look at this little guy. Everything's okay now, but he was found stranded and paddling in a Tempe canal late last night. The dog was struggling, not able to climb the canal walls near Guadalupe and Rural, so Tempe police stepped in and rescued the pooch. Police say the dog was wearing a collar and plan on contacting the owner to hopefully reunite them. I think he simply wanted to go in for a nice evening swim because it was so nice last night.
You know, it looks so glassy on the surface, but that water really moves
it sure
underneath.
does, yeah.
Kids sometimes get in there and they get themselves into trouble. Adults get themselves into trouble there. Plus, somebody mentioned to me once, there's so much junk underneath there that you don't want to be in there.
I couldn't even imagine that, but thank goodness they got that dog in.
Yeah.
Look on his face. That was a happy ending there. Hey, weather-wise, we're having a happy, I'm not going to say ending, happy start to the fall as we're nice and cool. This is where we're going to be headed today. We got 85 for the high. The average is still 89, so we're going to be below average. And sunrise coming up in exactly 2 hours from now. We have 2 hours to go before the sun peaks
2 hours
up.
of dark and early.
Yeah, 2 hours of bright, dark, and early. What are we doing up? 57 degrees for Scottsdale, 55 right now in Peoria, and 48 in Wickenburg.
All right, sounds good. We'll check back in with you in a bit, Jimmy. 4:33 right now, more news to get to. Valley Air Force airman is arrested, suspected of trapping a woman and sexually assaulting her in the West Valley. According to Maricopa County court documents, the woman says this man, Anthony Banks, attacked her inside a bathroom Saturday night. The homeowner reportedly heard her cries and kicked the door in. Surprise police tell us the homeowner punched Banks and threw him out of the house. Banks was arrested later that night nearby. However, Banks has a whole different version of this story, telling police he'd gone into the restroom by himself. His next court appearance is later this week.
Well, here we go again out in Los Angeles, yet another dry ice bomb scare. The device exploded at LAX last night and is the second one to detonate there in little more than 24 hours. Detectives also say 2 other dry ice bombs were found in restricted areas of the airport, but those did not go off. The LA Times reporting this morning that the bombs were similar bottles with ice inside. No injuries have been reported, and the discoveries caused minimal disruption at the airport.
Congressional leaders hinting they could be close to reaching an agreement on ending the partial government shutdown. Yesterday, the White House called for a meeting with congressional leaders, but then suddenly postponed it. Now, Republicans are blaming each other for causing the government shutdown. New York Congressman Peter King blasted Texas Senator Ted Cruz for a failed strategy to defeat Obamacare. Democrat Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, meanwhile, called King's comments passing the buck.
The blame really lays at the feet of the Republican Party. Each of them has a vote in their own right. They had the opportunity to do the right thing and not shut the government down and hold the economy hostage with the Affordable Care Act as ransom, and instead they went with the Tea Party.
Shutdown began October 1st after Congress failed to pass a short-term spending plan. Now, lawmakers only have until midnight Thursday to raise the debt ceiling so the country can borrow more money to pay all of the government's bills.
Former President George W. Bush's heart problems were actually more serious than previously reported. The 68-year-old received a stent over the summer to open up blood flow to a heart chamber. Now we're learning his coronary artery was actually 95% blocked.
Happening today, the Supreme Court will consider whether a Michigan ban on affirmative action is discriminatory. That case focuses on an 2006 voter-approved amendment to the state's constitution prohibiting universities from using race as a factor during admissions. Well, following the law, African-American and Latino enrollment at the University of Michigan declined. Now, several students, teachers, and civil rights organizations are challenging that ban. Supreme Court's decision could impact other states that have or are considering similar initiatives prohibiting affirmative action.
Also today, a former U.S. Army captain will be awarded the Medal of Honor for conspicuous gallantry. William Swenson is being recognized for his courageous actions while serving in Afghanistan. President Obama will award Swenson the medal during a ceremony at the White House later today.
I think he'd be, one of only 7 living Americans
like that
receive that. Yeah. Today is tax day for more than 12 million Americans who requested a tax extension back in April. Only 12 million? We think it'd be more than that. As of last week, many people had yet to file, and the government shutdown certainly not helping you. You're still responsible for filing, even if you couldn't get help from the IRS to answer your questions. Some people do get a break, like those serving in combat zones or Colorado flood victims. And if you can't pay what you owe, you are advised to file anyway to avoid getting hit with late filing fees on top of what you already owe.
Yeah, you'll get the late fees. You just won't get the late filing fees.
Yeah, there you go. 4:37 right now, and today it is Tuesday. It's October 15th. It's the 288th day of 2013, which means, Doug?
Well, that would be Ray Bork. 77 days left in the year. He wears number 77. On this day 10 years ago, doctors in Florida removed the feeding tube of Terry Schiavo, a severely brain-damaged woman at the center of the right to die battle. The tube was later reinserted, then removed again as the legal battle played out, ending with Schiavo's death years later in March of 2005.
On this day 6 years ago, comedian and actor Drew Carey took over as host of The Price is Right, the longest-running daytime game show in TV history. Carey, of course, replaced the legendary Bob Barker, who retired after hosting the show for 35 years.
Spade and neuter, people, spade and neuter. And 24 years ago, then 28-year-old Los Angeles King Wayne Gretzky, the great one, broke Gordie Howe's points record with 1,850 in the final period against the Oilers. Gretzky's record-setting goal tied the game. In overtime, he scored another. The Kings went on to win 5-4. Hard to believe he was only 28 years old when that happened.
Look at it, that
Wow.
video, how old that is, huh?
It's
What a
scary.
nice guy, though.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
He's the great one.
Yeah.
Does he still have that scoring record?
So many different levels.
Off the ice as well.
He still has the scoring record?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time before somebody breaks that.
That's so great.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, too.
Yeah. It's always nice to see good things happen to good people. Hey, 4:38's time right now. I had on 12 News today. Could the government shutdown be impacting the auto industry and deterring car sales? Kelley Blue Book study answers that very question up next.
Didn't keep Christine from buying one yesterday.
Ah.
And it's among the time debate among healthcare experts, drinking while pregnant. 1 in 10 admit to it. But what are the immediate side effects mom will feel, not the baby? We delve into the study.
And this morning, you know, a light jacket will probably help you out if you're going to be standing around. It's cool out there, but we're going to be heading back up to about 85 degrees. So just a beautiful, beautiful fall day and a beautiful fall forecast. How long will it last? I'll be back with all those answers.
All right, you're watching 12 News today. connecting Arizona. We'll be back.
Like my daughter.
4:42. All right, let's talk some tech this morning. A cool new smartphone feature that could save your life. We were talking about this at the top of the show. Driving mode feature is included in new updates for Windows phones. Get this, it will automatically silence incoming calls and texts while you're driving, and you can program it to send out auto replies saying, hey, I'm behind the wheel right now. It keeps you from texting back or answering. However, it does not block outgoing calls or texts.
Pretty smart. A survey by Kelley Blue Book finds more and more consumers are actually holding off on their car purchases until the government shutdown ends. About 18% say they are planning to buy a new car but want to wait it out. Another 64% say the issues have no impact on when they plan to buy. The remaining 18% said they were not familiar enough with the government issues, and the majority of the participants say they expect to see an increase in the interest rates on new car loans.
Netflix execs quietly meeting with some cable carriers, possibly looking into putting Netflix video service in cable boxes. The Wall Street Journal is reporting this and stressing the talks are in the very early stages. They may not pan out. One point of contention appears to be Netflix's insistence that cable operators adopt a new technology to improve the delivery of the company's streaming video.
And talk about getting creative. A new business in Wisconsin has the town talking with their new business plan. Owners of the Snuggle House say they just want to help people relax and relieve stress. The Snuggle House will soon be much like what you see from the Snuggery in New York.
Hope they know each other.
Simply for healing.
Even just a hug for a couple seconds can release that oxytocin in your body and your brain, which has powerful effects to reduce stress.
They say that their motto is they want to change the world one snuggle at a time.
Didn't they shut one of those houses down up in North Scottsdale?
Yeah.
There was a raid, I think.
Yeah. I'll have to read about that one.
As long as you don't leave the money on the dresser, you'll be all right.
Hey, I want to snuggle right there. I got great snuggling people I work with.
Restraining order, remember?
That's right, fourth floor.
Anyways, let's talk about your weather. Right now, we have plenty of clear skies out of Sky Harbor. Clear conditions. So no problems if you're going to be flying out of our airport area. But the rest of the nation, not looking so good. We're having a lot of storm activity, showers, rainfall up across Texas. And you can see all the way from North Dakota, Minneapolis. If you're going to be flying into Minneapolis, yeah, we could be running into some travel delays over in that direction. Across Madison City, Chicago right now, a few showers approaching your area and more rainfall across Kansas City and that region too. Okay, let's talk more about our forecast and what we have outside the Valley webcams. It's dark. It's going to be dark for the next couple of hours. Sunrise not coming up till about 6:30 or so, but right now our time is 4:45 on this Tuesday morning. 24 right now in Flagstaff. Whoa. Winslow 36, 32 for Show Low, 49 for Safford, Lake Havasu 57, and Prescott 36, and 63 here for the downtown area. Our fall forecast, catch my fall forecast on Twitter every day. It's about every hour. I'll answer it as long as I'm awake, if I'm not sleeping. Okay, air quality forecast. Phoenix at about 50 for today. Still air quality is just fabulous. I think we're going to stay that way most of this week. So what does that mean? It means it's good air. Get out there and go walk your dog. Don't worry about any concerns if you're asthmatic. 84 for the high today in Phoenix, 76 for Globe, 63 for Show Low. Safford will get to 82. We'll get to 58 for Flagstaff. Prescott, lots of sunshine, 68 degrees. Could be breezy from time to time around Lake Havasu, Kingman, and Grand Canyon also at 57 degrees and 86 for Quartzsite. 7-day outlook, 85 for Tuesday, Wednesday 83. We're going to go 84 for Thursday. A couple of light clouds for Friday and 85. So from time to time, we'll have a couple of systems that will not even make their way into Arizona, but they will keep our air on the cool side. 89 is the average high, and we stay below that mark all week long.
Jimmy, you're just going between that 84 and 85 button, aren't you? Ding, 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 ding.
Pretty much.
All right, 4:47 right now. Let's talk about your health for a moment. We've all been there. Full flight, teething baby on one side, a sneezer and cougher on the other. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're doomed to get sick. Doctors say position your overhead air vent so it's aimed downward on your face and it kind of sort of push the germ particles away from you. You can also try stocking up on vitamin C or other immune system strengthening supplements. However, one doctor says a lot of it is simply the placebo effect. And of course, take some hand sanitizer with you because the germs really are everywhere. I came back on a flight from Sydney once next to, I called her Typhoid Mary. She was so sick. And yes, I got sick too.
It's going to happen. A new study finds about 1 in 10 women consume a small amount of alcohol during pregnancy. And those who do drink are more likely to have negative emotions. Researchers surveyed over 66,000 pregnant women about the first and second trimester alcohol use, as well as their negative affectivity, which measures symptoms of depression and anxiety. They found moms who had more negative emotions were more likely to have consumed small or large amounts of alcohol in their first 2 trimesters. Experts say more studies are needed to determine why pregnant women continue to drink alcohol despite serious health warnings.
I have more negative affectivity on Mondays, I think. Doctors often prescribe 1 or more steroid treatments for pregnant women who are at risk of preterm birth. But when researchers compared the effects of multiple versus single treatments of steroids, they found no difference in the risk of death and disability for children down the line. Because there was no conclusive evidence that additional steroid treatments are beneficial, experts now say multiple courses should not be given to women in danger of preterm birth.
Well, a new study found that exposure to low levels of air pollution while pregnant can actually raise the risk for having a low birth weight baby. European researchers estimate the concentration of air pollution near the homes of over 74,000 women over a 7-year period. And although all types of pollution were harmful, the higher exposure to fine particulate matter found in traffic fumes and associated with low birth weight, which can cause respiratory and other health problems later in life. These risks were also present at pollution levels that the government considers to be safe air quality. So even though the government says, yeah, it's okay outside, it's still having some negative effect on birth weight.
And there's your OBGYN report
That's right.
of the morning.
If you're having a baby, good luck.
All right, 4:49 is the time right now. Ahead on 12 News today, before you buy your Halloween candy this year, listen up. Not all candies are created equal, and this is no trick. Some candies are actually better for your teeth than others. What those treats are, up next.
Oh, that's some good news right there. We'll be right back. You're watching 12 News Connecting Arizona.
Good morning, welcome back to 12 News today, 4:53 right now. Halloween is the time of year where a lot of parents let their kids just cut loose and gorge on all the candy. However, their teeth and what all that candy does to them, kind of always in the back of your mind, right? So get this, some Halloween candy is apparently worse for your teeth than others. Insurance company Delta Dental has released a new list of the best and worst kinds of treats for your teeth. Among the worst, sticky, chewy candies like candy corn and gummy bears. So what's better? Plain chocolate, because it melts quickly, decreasing the time sugar is in contact with your teeth. Or another suggestion for you, you could just opt for sugar-free gum or lollipops. Lollipops kind of surprised me because you think about like how long the sugar is on your teeth.
Only takes 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Which was also, you could also do what the old lady down the street did in my neighborhood. She gave away nickels.
Oh, well, that's better than the penny person.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, come on, really? Really?
Nickels. That's right. It was fun. Speaking of all that Halloween candy, Americans are expected to spend slightly less on the holiday this year. You wouldn't know it by what I saw yesterday. The National Retail Federation survey found people plan to spend $6 to $6.9 billion on costume, candy, decorations, and greeting cards. That's actually down 14% from last year, but up from 2011. It breaks down to about $75.03, speaking of pennies, of spending per person celebrating the holiday. They'll spend a total of $1.4 billion on costumes for kids and $330 million. Ready for this? For pet costumes. They'll also spend more than $2 billion on candy. There's a one of these places that pops up around the holiday where you go in and get your costumes. Yeah, the Superstore. Right next to the gym.
Halloween Superstore, yeah.
It was
Oh, in and out.
constant,
in and out. Yeah,
constant yesterday, and I was like, where are they going?
My husband got my kids' costumes already, so they're
How much do they
taken care
spend?
of. I don't know. He ordered them online, but we still don't have ours. We just still don't know. I'm like, oh, I got to make the Target run. That's my secret. I go to Target for the costumes.
There you go.
At the last minute. All right, 4:55 right now. Coming up on 12 News today. The year's first case of West Nile detected right here in the valley, where it happened and how to get rid of those dang mosquitoes. This morning, a message from health officials.
Yeah, get rid of that standing water in your neighborhood or backyard. Plus, whistleblower Edward Snowden back in the spotlight. It's not about that new movie. It's revealing more about the NSA and what other sites that they're using to dig up information and contacts. So this could be very interesting developments here.
This could be an interesting development for flyers, certainly. Good news for Southwest Airlines frequent flyers. Their nonstop love is coming to a city near you. Big legal developments for Southwest Airlines, big win for Southwest Airlines, and a law that was sort of unique to one part of the country, but really affected how this airline was able to operate and how they'll be able to operate going into the future. We will tell you all about it as the morning continues.
Maybe that nonstop flight to Vegas will actually happen. Feeling the tight squeeze when traveling? Well, airlines are literally downsizing with their planes.
I've been that person right
Yes.
there.
Well, you'll notice the next time you fly and that breathing room you have, not so much. It is not that you had any to begin with, but
You know, with a few airlines aside, have you noticed that since they started charging for bags, everybody comes on with like 8 million things and they're trying to jam it all over the place?
Yep, except me.
Now.
I walk on with nothing.
I know, you're Big Daddy Warbucks.
No,
That's why.
it's just much more comfortable.
4:56, we'll be right back.